But what is more important for us is to develop an attitude of complete surrender in the promise of Jesus rather than demanding the reward for our own faithfulness and sacrifice. Today's Gospel draws our attention towards a twofold reward that is promised to all those who follow Christ. First, a hundredfold reward now in this lifetime, and secondly, a reward in the world to come. Christ had already exhorted that whoever wants to be His disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow Him. Yet, the disciples were shocked and wondered about their own chances of entering God's kingdom when they heard Jesus saying how hard it is to enter the kingdom of heaven. As a result, Peter reminds Jesus of what they had left behind to follow Him. And that is the moment when Jesus makes His hundredfold promise. Dear friends, when Jesus promises a hundredfold reward now in this time, He means that the blessings of being a part of His discipleship will be significant, but they will be hard-earned. Because the reward granted in this life does not, however, exclude suffering and persecution at the hands of men. For Christ Himself has said, "Because you are not of the world will hate you." The various clauses found in today's Gospel, such as houses, brothers, sisters, mothers, children, and lands with persecutions, show that the hundredfold reward in this lifetime is not to be understood in material sense, but spiritual. It means that we gain a whole new family. And when we leave our own family to follow Jesus, He becomes our priority. And those who give up all for Jesus will not be left lonely and isolated. Rather, they will experience deep bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood with other members of the family of the faith, which will more than compensate for their loss of blood relatives. Yes, dear friends, having reflected the Gospel today, we need to ask ourselves, what is my stand in following Jesus? Sometimes, we too may say to Jesus like Peter, "Lo, we have left everything and followed you." And Jesus would surely reply to us in the words He said to Peter, "But what is more important for us is to develop an attitude of complete surrender in the promise of Jesus rather than demanding the reward for our own faithfulness and sacrifice." So, how can we develop this attitude of complete surrender? It can be in three ways. First of all, have a positive response. That is, to accept Jesus in faith through the help of the Word of God and also the teachings of the Church that are provided to us time to time. Secondly, have a personal commitment to Jesus, which is done through one's own prayer life and one's own personal relationship with Jesus. And finally, rely on the blessings of God rather than counting the cost of following Him. Amen.